Hello listeners, welcome back to Luke's English Podcast. How are you doing today? I hope you are more comfortable than I am because it is boiling hot here once again in podcast land. And I suppose there's every chance that it's also boiling hot wherever you are too, unless of course you're in the southern hemisphere, in which case you might be feeling a bit chilly. But in any case, I'm absolutely boiling and I'm melting. And I expect that by the end of this episode, I may have become a sort of pool of liquid on the floor of my podcast room. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but anyway, it's really boiling hot. So, hello, this is World Cup Ramble number 3, in which I'll be talking once again about the FIFA World Cup 2026. And this is a bonus episode, okay? This is in addition to your normal weekly podcast and not instead of, okay? So you'll be getting a normal episode coming on Monday as usual, and this is just an additional bonus football related episode. Feel free to skip this if football is really not for you. But if you're following the football, I hope you enjoy this and that you leave your comments in the comments section. We would love to hear from you about the various things that we discuss here today. So I am recording this on Wednesday, the 8th of July. And hopefully it will be published on the same day. If I can get myself organised, I'll publish this on the same day. Or maybe the next day it might arrive on the 9th of July. Who knows when you're going to listen to this? You'll probably listen to it within the first 5 days or so. But I just wanted to establish the fact that today it's the 8th of July. The round of 16 is over and the quarterfinals are yet to begin. That's where we are as I record this. Quarterfinals are coming up over the next few days, including France versus Morocco, Spain versus Belgium, Norway versus England, Argentina versus Switzerland, and then obviously semi-finals and then the final itself. There are lots of things to talk about at this point as the tournament has progressed. Things are starting to get really exciting. Things are heating up nicely now in the World Cup. Now we've got only 8 matches, well, 8 teams, 4 quarterfinal matches, and so we're all able to understand and picture it all in our minds a bit more easily. So in World Cup Ramble 3, I will be joined by Fred, returning guest for, I think, the sixth time. Maybe he's been on the podcast more than that, I don't know. Fred and I have talked before about diverse things on this podcast, including pub quizzes, spelling bees, word games, Avengers Endgame, and more. But Fred is a keen football fan, so let's turn our attention to football in this episode. I'm recording this introduction about an hour before Fred is due to arrive, and so I guess at this point, through the magic of editing, we're going to skip forward to my conversation with Fred, World Cup Ramble 3, and here we go. So, hi Fred.
Hi Luke.
Welcome to the podcast again.
Hi, I'm glad to be back.
World Cup Ramble, that's the plan, right?
That is the plan.
The general idea is to have a chat about the main talking points for World Cup 2026, both on and off the pitch. At this point, right here, end of round 16, just before we enter the quarterfinals.
This is the first day since the World Cup started that there's no game. The first day without a game since June 11th.
Wow.
Yes. Can you?
So everyone's taking a little breather.
Yeah. I think that's 27 days of football in a row or something. No, maybe less, but maybe.
How has it been for you so far this World Cup?
So I am I love football. I've played football. I've watched it for my whole life. I don't watch football anymore because it's too time consuming and it's always like 1-0 and whatever. And
you spend 2.5 hours of your life watching it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have decided that I have many better things to do. Mm-hmm. But when the World Cup comes, I stop everything.
Yeah.
And try to watch as much as I can every 4 years.
Yeah, it's the same as me. I don't really keep up with Premiership football.
No.
But when it's international stuff like the Euros or the World Cup, then I'm really into it, yeah.
Yeah, and so I really make an exception. Even for AFCON or the Euros, I'll watch. I watch quite intensely, but World Cup, I really try to watch everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as a fan, so, a lot of people, I was thinking, what can I add to this conversation? The only thing I can add is my very own experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a fan, first of all, there's a time difference. As someone who lives in France, which is not the case for everybody, but we all, I guess, except you're in the US or Mexico, in that time zone, you probably feel the time difference if you're in Asia, in Europe, etc., in Africa.
In Europe, games are on really late in the evening, or they're on in the middle of the night.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think in somewhere like Japan, I think it's really difficult to keep up, isn't it?
Yeah, they must have like very early games, or
it's all messed up for them. Basically, it's difficult.
If it's like 5 a.m. here, then it's like 5 p.m. there. But if it's 6 p.m. here, then it's 6 a.m. I mean,
it's about 9 hours of difference.
Yeah,
they're about 9 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so they must have had things in the middle of the night as well.
Yeah, difficult to keep up. But okay, but you're a major fan of the World Cup, and so you've been watching as many games as you can.
As many games as I can, live or in replay, while trying to work and have a life.
Yeah, and I should say also that. So, who do you support in this World Cup? Because you're from Cameroon.
Yes.
And Cameroon, unfortunately, didn't qualify. What happened? Why didn't Cameroon are normally one of the top African teams?
I will say that the word "normally" is the most disappointing word in this, because I mean, as we'll talk about it, but what should happen normally in the context of football is never what actually happened. So what happened is, at first, I was very disappointed. I mean, I still am. I'm sour. I don't want to talk about it. And if you ever see me, don't mention it.
I shouldn't have asked that question.
There's an ad. There's an ad in which that features pictures from like fans from all over the world, and there's a picture of a Cameroonian fan, and it breaks my heart every time. But yeah, so it was very difficult. We lost our group to Cabo Verde.
Yeah.
And I've seen them play since, and I'm like, okay, they're better than us. So that's why they qualified and we didn't.
Okay.
So yeah, names don't carry all the way to the World Cup. So what happened is that, I don't know, we have our team isn't very good. At the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So who have you been supporting then? I suppose, are you also French now? Or you've also become French?
I do root for France. I root for France in a way that's different from Cameroon, but I do root for France, yeah. And it's much easier to root for them when they play very well.
You root for France. There's a nice phrase.
To root for. Yes,
meaning support.
Exactly.
You root for France.
To yay someone.
This is how the kids today talk about it.
I would tell the kids yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Is yay just
yay? Obviously,
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what the kids today say.
No, I wouldn't. I'm completely out of touch with like Gen Z.
Ooh,
yeah. It's Gen Z. Is it Generation Alpha as well?
Yeah, Alpha's around. Yeah. I don't know how old Alpha is, but they're around.
Yeah, that's right.
They have the language now.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, I guess it's always been this way, but like the different age groups and the kind of slang that they use, it just all seems so wildly different and diverse these days.
Like a few weeks ago, before the end of the school year, I worked with a class of sixth graders.
Yeah, okay.
And they were trying to do like a period piece, like they were inspired by The Mousetrap by Agatha Christie, and they're trying to set like the time, and they were like the 80s, and I'm like, it's already strange for me to talk about the 80s or the 70s. They were born in like 2015.
Oh my
so
God.
They're like, what was the 80s like?
For them, the 80s is so old.
And they sort of look at me to ask me, so what were the 80s like? And I'm like, I have no idea.
And that's not even when The Mousetrap was written. We're talking
so they're mixing the 30s, the 50s.
So for 80s. Them, the 80s is kind of in the same package as the 20s.
Yeah. It's
or
like,
something like that.
It's like the 80s is like so far.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like what were telephones like in the... And you're like, no, there were many... They have no idea.
Makes me feel very old. Anyway, so you're rooting for France then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it? Or do you have an interest in other teams? Not
No.
England? No, England? Not at all?
No.
No.
I mean, so I've actually talked about it recently with someone. I have had historically, I've had a fondness for England because I'm a fan of Manchester United, and a lot when I was younger, the core of United was also in the England team. I mean, Scholes, Neville, Beckham, etc. So my transfer, I also liked England, the England team, but now I root for Cameroon. When there's no one, I'll root for France, and then I watch because I really enjoy football. And so. But like England, if England had lost, I wouldn't have minded. The way they won was very exciting against Mexico, so I'm very happy for England because as a fan, it's like I just enjoy watching great football.
Okay, I see. At the moment in football, it seems there's different camps.
Okay,
right, and either you support teams or you support certain players, and. So I feel football is in these different camps. And if we organise it by player, there's obviously the Messi camp, there's the Ronaldo camp, and there's the Mbappe camp, and maybe a couple of others. Like you've got maybe Erling Haaland,
Bellingham probably
and
quite
Harry Kane for England.
It seems to me that Harry Kane is much more consensual. He's so nice. He's a captain. He scores goals. Bellingham seems to have like more of a personality that can divide people.
He's like a personality on legs, isn't he? He just drives and works really hard and fights so hard, and that's kind of what he's all about. He's not necessarily the sort of diplomatic kind of leader that you get in Harry Kane, although he would be a great captain, I think. Jude Bellingham,
quite interesting.
Just the spirit that he brings to the pitch and the hard work ethic and stuff like that. So, do you have a particular allegiance to one of these camps then?
I would say that I think Messi's the best. He's proven it. Like there's no debate anymore, really, for me. If you did, I would say that people who whatever is favored by FIFA and what it's like. How much can you be you have to watch the games, and in the end, there's no contest about the fact that he's the best. At least since the end of the Maradona era. So maybe you can compare it to him because they have one World Cup each, so you can be okay. Yes, but frankly, in this generation of player, like for the past 30 years, there's no contest.
I think if we're just talking about football, there's no way to avoid the fact that Messi is obviously the greatest, isn't he, of our time? And then there are other factors come into it, like the way that they handle themselves, and also this stuff about how potentially Messi and Argentina are being favoured by FIFA, and there's a lot of discussion at the moment about bias, about whether the whole World Cup is rigged. Is the World Cup rigged? How
could you not be biased when you're facing Messi?
Biased against him, biased in favour of him?
In favour?
Yeah, because are you going to send him off? That's the question.
Yeah, how... Okay, so there's this action against Algeria or Jordan. When he steps on the ankle of a player...
In one of the early games.
The first game. I went back to watch that action again, and there's no intention to harm, but he steps with his cleats on the back.
The studs.
Yeah, the studs.
On the back of someone's leg, lower part of their leg. All of the studs.
Ankle. So you could, frankly... He could have broken his ankle. So it's really bad. So you could give him a red card or not. It's actually quite comparable to what happened to Balogun with another big controversy when Balogun stepped on the ankle of a Bosnian player. Not intentional at all, but wow, he almost destroyed that guy's ankle. So
which team is that person from?
USA. Okay. Florin Balogun is the guy that was saved by Trump with a red card.
Oh, right. That's that red card.
That red card.
Right. So this goes into a lot of the stuff, a lot of the controversy that is being discussed at the moment with allegations of corruption.
Yes.
And then also...
Allegations.
Obvious...
Allegations.
Not exactly allegations. It's just blatantly obvious. But there's that kind of political corruption, and then also the kind of borderline conspiracy theory that the World Cup is rigged, and then also the fact that referees are biased and seem to be favouring certainly Argentina / Messi. And so there's that going on as well, which I feel like we should discuss during this conversation too. I feel like there's like the football. We can discuss the football, and then there's all the football peripheral stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
and even the peripheral sort of football adjacent things are potentially the most interesting and exciting topics to talk about. But I do want to talk about what's happened on the pitch.
Yes,
what we expect is going to happen in the next round, and then all of that other sort of political stuff.
Want to start with the pitch?
Let's start with the pitch. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we've established that as a Cameroonian-born Frenchman, that you naturally root for France then in this World Cup. Okay, good. So what should we talk about? Let's talk about kind of like the last 16, this second knockout round that we've just seen. We might touch on some of the things that happened in the last 32 as well, because Germany obviously got knocked out, Netherlands got knocked out. We have 6 European teams remaining. There are 8 teams in total remaining now. 6 of them are European, 1 South American, 1 African.
Yes.
Only Belgium, Switzerland, Morocco and Norway have never won it before. And the reason I bring that up is because in the last one of these World Cup rambles, I said that what I really want is a team that's never lifted this trophy before to lift it. And I include England in that. Because England have never actually lifted this trophy. We lifted the old one, you know. So I include England in that. So Belgium, Switzerland, Morocco, Norway have never won it before. England have never lifted this particular trophy. So it's interesting, but we do have some of the usual suspects: France, Spain, Argentina, England, probably the top 4 ranked teams FIFA. Going into it. I'm sort of glad / surprised that England is still there. I had this funny feeling that they wouldn't be, but
as an Englishman, why wouldn't you?
I know, just ready for disappointment every time. So which games should we talk about then, Fred?
Okay, I'll do a little... I'll back up a little bit to like the whole format and then to arrive to last 16.
The whole format, all 48 teams.
So, so going back to the experience as a fan. The fact that this is my one.
And now we're going to show how old we are. I'll tell you how many World Cups I've seen. 82, 86, 82 I vaguely remember. 86, 90, 94, 98. 2002, I went to one of the games. 2006, 2010, 2014, I'm running out of fingers. 2018, 2022, 2020. This is my 12th World Cup.
So that's 9 for me. With 94, I vaguely remember.
Oh, you don't remember 90 very well. Because Cameroon did well in that one, except, I'm sorry, they got knocked out by England in the quarterfinals.
No, 94. No, that's 90. I wasn't there for 90.
You weren't there for
94 was, we got out of the first round. We got
94 was Roberto Baggio. This is a penalty.
I was missing for Baggio. So I'm used to watching World Cups. And so I thought I was ready for this one, but this one has 48 teams, which means 104 games, which means 40 more games than usual.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot, especially because those 40 extra games are mostly crap. Or not very interesting, or not like, wow, amazing. So that's a lot of time spent hoping for gold and getting some cheap
scraps.
Shiny stone that's breaks easily. So it was tiring. Like by the end of the first round, I was tired because I was footballed out.
Right.
I was just like,
that's a nice phrase. Footballed out.
Yeah. By the time I'm like, okay, I'm going to check out like Argentina, Jordan, and Algeria, Austria. When I know that, and with the third place teams, it's like, there's so many calculations and actually also not very important games. Australia, Paraguay 1-1 and both qualify, and you're like, okay, I did watch that. I probably not full, but like
I admire your commitment though, because I didn't watch most of those group games.
There's not a single game that I think the least I've watched of a game is like 15 minutes. So I've really spent a lot of time.
Wow, you're really invested.
I'm extremely. I've seen all the goals, all the main action of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I can pull out random scores like Australia, Paraguay 1-1.
I see. Yeah.
Although maybe it might have been 0-0, but it was boring. So I was quite exhausted, and then we got into the first elimination round. So last 30 round of 32.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, elimination round, that's going to be interesting. And then what happened, especially because there were 10 African teams at the start. I also root for African teams in general. I forgot that part, but yes, I do root for African teams.
You're not sort of like really against your neighbouring countries, like, you know, if like Nigeria or something are in there. You're not like,
no.
Not like it's not like Scotland and England, where Scotland will always support whoever's playing against England.
Yeah, no. I rooted for all African teams, and there's still one in. And even though Morocco beat Cameroon in the quarterfinals of the last African Cup, I wish them the best. They were against France. It's going to be tough, but I wish them the best. So there were 10 African teams at the start. 9 went to the last, the round of 32.
Yeah.
Which was exciting because I was like, oh, this is an evolution for African football because we have so many teams that qualified for the knockout round. And then only 2 were left for the round of 16. So I felt that it was sort of it was all smoke and mirrors.
What you mean, the sense of like, this is an opportunity for smaller nations. Yeah. It's just an opportunity for smaller nations to get beaten.
Yeah, because when you compare round to 16 to round to 16, there's only 2 teams, which is the same as in 2022 when we had Senegal and Morocco. Now we have Morocco and Egypt.
Yeah, okay.
And so I feel like a lot of what happened in this World Cup, it's a bit smoke and mirrors with the expansion of the format.
Yeah.
Where you have, it's like empty calories. It's all empty excitement. We're like, oh, this, what was it? I think it was Iran, New Zealand, 2-2. So 4 goals. So quite exciting scenario. You discover a new player, Elijah Just. I've never, New Zealand guy, exciting, etc. And then at the end of it, now New Zealand are out and there's nothing left of that. You know what I mean? Like in terms of football, the game was exciting, but those teams like didn't. I mean, they're both out.
Just kind of like they were just sort of cannon fodder for the meat grinder that is the World Cup.
Yeah,
now. You know,
and it's like bringing more people to watch, and there's more games, but like there was a bit of dilution of the quality.
Yeah, I see.
Which is unfortunate.
But don't you think it's paying off now? Because I feel like there was a really heavy opening stage to this World Cup with all those teams and a lot of what felt like fairly inconsequential football happening. But now we're down to 8 teams. I feel like that somehow that investment has paid off. I feel like there's more momentum than there normally would be.
Even the round of 16 was great.
Yeah.
Now, and the round of 32 was kind of where with Brazil. No, not Brazil. With Germany going out.
Netherlands.
The Netherlands is different because they played Morocco.
Okay.
They played a really strong team, so they have the same level. So it's like it's 1-1 penalties. Even though Morocco played better than the Netherlands, but like a bit like Cameroon not being in, like all those names are just out because you don't have the level. Germany was extremely average during the group stage.
Except their opening match, they scored 7 goals, didn't they? They were like, we've scored 7 goals now. Let's just do nothing for now.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, those games, Portugal, Uzbekistan 5-0, 5-0. Like they
doesn't really mean that much.
It means like, okay, they played well that game, but it doesn't give you any information about how good Portugal is, which is what you want to know.
It's a very long journey as well between from those opening games to like getting into where it really counts. It feels like a long time has passed.
Yeah. So with the usual format, you had 3 games in the group stage, with probably all 3 games being meaningful in a certain way. So now you have 3 group stage games, then the round of 32, but only maybe 1 or 2 of those games are really meaningful because if you win, then you draw, you go to the next round.
Yeah, because it's like the top 2 teams plus the 8 third place teams. So most people are going to
look at Norway. Norway, they played Iraq. They beat them 4-1. So they have 3 points and a +3 goal difference.
Yeah,
they're done.
Yeah, right.
They're done. That's it. They're going to fight Senegal and whatnot and do their best. and they're confident they can draw, and then they do that. They end up winning against Senegal, and then the third game they send like their like B team,
right?
And then it's like
so it's inflated. It's overinflated. It's kind of full of hot air.
Yeah, but instead of increasing the stakes, they have like lowered a bit
in the early stages. But now I feel that we're in this knockout stage where we know how many teams there are, and it feels like momentum has built up to the point where somehow the stakes are higher than they would normally be at this stage. Don't you feel? Because we've been on more of a journey to get to this point.
I see what you mean. It was a bit of a drag, but we're finally here.
Yeah.
But I would consider that the round of 16 is also very exciting, because I felt that, okay, this is a very serious stage where all the teams that really have... No, everyone had the right to be there. I'm not saying that it should go back to 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of like, how do you... Even if you have 48 teams, how do you make it the game's more meaningful?
Right, okay.
I was thinking about, how about instead of...
Maybe one of the players has to fight for their lives at the end. We enter some sort of gladiatorial element to this, where not only it's not only about scoring points, it's also about keeping your players alive at the end of the game.
For the final 10 minutes of extra time, you let in a lion.
Exactly, yeah.
And that was interesting.
Right.
I was thinking, instead of having the first two plus the 8 best third place teams, why would you have the top teams and the 8 best second placed? How about that?
Just straight into a round of 16.
Yes. You have only the top teams. Imagine that would raise the stakes like crazy.
Yes, it would.
You end up with 16, but you still play with 48 because you open up the ranks, but the games, I mean, you would have some people eliminated faster. That is true. But
yeah, it would be exciting.
No one would mess around, because you have to be among the best. So 4 second best teams would be out right away.
Yeah, but that's not what FIFA or hosting nations want to do, because they want to squeeze as much juice as they possibly can out of this World Cup lemon.
Yeah, it's a random idea, but I'm just saying you can have 100 teams and still make it exciting.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you should go back to 32.
There's different ways. You could let them carry swords.
Yeah, and you jump right. Tiny knives. Cut you
it depends on the game. Like this game is, whoever, Netherlands versus Germany.
Yeah.
And the random weapon.
Yes, exactly.
It's razor blades. Or the random weapon is
teddy bears.
Exactly, teddy bears, which you can use to potentially
maim,
suffocate your opponents.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yes. So it's bloated at the beginning with a lot of too many games and whatever.
Also, I'm sour because Cameron isn't here. So
we have to
Cameron
remember this.
It would have been entirely different. But
what about the changes to the format? How about the hydration breaks? Quote, hydration breaks. How cynical are you about those things? Do you think that they've broken football? The Americans found a sneaky way to break football, or is it actually fine?
They've literally broken it down in more parts than usual.
It's unbelievable, isn't it, really, when you think that how they managed to just we're just going to change this game.
The funny thing is that there were changes in the way the referees approach games that make the game go faster.
Yeah,
higher pace, like not having as many fouls as usual, letting the game go on, etc., etc. And at the same time, they've just chopped the game. They just stop it like just dead in the quarter. I
can imagine some sort of negotiation where the US are saying, "Look, we need advert breaks every 10 minutes, and this is what we want." And FIFA are willing to concede. Okay, you can have hydration breaks when you have commercial breaks, but we will find a way to balance this out.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to let the game keep moving.
Which
They've introduced time wasting prevention measures, which are really good.
Yeah.
The refereeing we can talk about. But I mean, hydration breaks, it's bullshit. Obviously it's a commercial break.
It's not bullshit when it's 40 degrees out.
But a lot of the time it's not. We've seen games where it's pouring with rain. You talk about hydration break,
or like with a closed roof with a controlled temperature. It's like
obviously.
We know what this is.
Yeah, we do.
When we talk about corruption, that's what it is as well. It's not just money given. It's like the game being corrupted.
I'm curious to see if this is a new thing now. If that's it now for World Cup football, is it always going to be played in 4 parts?
I don't know if there's enough money made from this. If enough money is by the end of the World Cup, we'll see. But it's I feel that Europeans are not ready to do that yet.
No, probably the Euros wouldn't be like that. But I wouldn't be.
It's being booed so much by everybody. No one likes it.
Yeah,
except coaches, obviously, because they get to change things in between. So that the group of people that have enjoyed these breaks are coaches, because so many games have changed after a hydration break.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's Brazil, Morocco. Brazil didn't exist for 25 minutes, and then they came back and scored. And you're like, oh, because technically some people are able to see small changes that impact the game right away, immediately. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we don't need it. Please no. Please no. Hey, Janny, please no.
We'll come back to some of those corruptions and scandals and things. Should we talk about some specific round of 16 games?
Let's talk about games.
What about
What's your favorite?
Well, France versus Paraguay. Was extraordinary.
That's my least favorite.
It's your least favorite. So let's talk about that.
It's my least favorite of the entire tournament.
Really, yeah. I can understand why. It's worth talking about. France won, Paraguay 0 in the round of 16. Why was it your least favourite?
Because it's the one that had the least amount of
football
in it.
And the most amount of punching. One team was playing football, the other team...
The football punching ratio was out of whack.
So basically, France went out to play football as they usually do, and Paraguay apparently didn't.
Yeah.
Especially in the last half an hour of the game.
Yeah, but frankly, I blame the
referee.
I had watched all Paraguay games before,
and
so
they always do the same thing.
Yeah, of course. It was just amped up because the opposition was much stronger. But they've done the same. So Paraguay, Turkey, second game of the group stage. They come in, that number 23, Mateo Galarza, I'm not sure about his first name. So the 23, the guy who punched Mbappe while Mbappe was running. Didn't play the first game, comes in for the second game, scores the first minute against Turkey.
Yeah.
So 1-0 for Paraguay, and then they just stopped. They just blocked everything for 90 minutes. Yeah. So that's how they play. They
but
strike.
That's not only that, because against France, their conduct was disgraceful.
Yeah.
It's like the world, almost the entire world, all agrees that the way that the Paraguay team played or didn't play football, the way they played, they kicked so many French players.
Yeah.
There was so much of what we call shithousery. Do you know about this word?
Yeah.
Shithousery, where they're not, no one's touching them, but they're falling on the floor, holding their face. They're scraping the penalty spot before a penalty is taken. They're doing all manner of cheating and gamesmanship, and it was disgraceful stuff.
Totally, it's and
dangerous too, because they could have injured players. They were coming in really hard, late tackles, and not getting yellow cards. Nothing.
That's a problem.
Zero.
Because other teams have done that to a certain degree. And it's common in football when you're the small team to try and do that to the big team. Just make them lose their football. Just become nervous or irritated, or somebody gets a red card. Imagine Mbappe gets a red card. So France was ready for that. But when you do that, when you punch someone while he's running and there's VAR, I don't like the fact that someone is punching someone, but when you have VAR, that goes back to cancel goals and make decisions on corner kicks and whatnot, and there's someone being punched and no one says, wait, sorry.
I think you might want to just check VAR there.
I think he punched him. This is the second time in 90 minutes he punches him. That's the problem, because you're, in a way, allowed to do whatever you want, but there's rules. So if you do them, you pay the price.
I mean, we saw yesterday Argentina versus Egypt, where what happened? Egypt scored a goal.
Yeah, and then someone had stepped on Lisandro Martinez, 100 yards away.
Stepped on his toe right at the other end of the pitch.
And they went back to cancel the goal.
And they cancelled the goal. Yeah. A very similar thing happened the other way around as well, where Egypt, Mo Salah was fouled,
in the penalty box,
and then Argentina went on to score.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is that if you look at those decisions, they were actually probably the right decisions. That the first one was a foul that required the game to be stopped, and the other one was not so bad. It was not really a major foul.
But once you see that, when you're the referee and there's VAR, and you see that someone is stepping on someone's toe, you have... your hands are tied.
They were the right decisions.
Your hands are tied.
It's easy to see why, though, you would look at the French-Paraguay game and go, look at all these things that the Paraguay were not penalised for, and all the opportunities that France could have had. It looked like the referee was definitely against France. I mean, that's how it looked. Especially when you compare it to other refereeing decisions like the Argentina ones.
Exactly.
When it's easy to start thinking, well, clearly the referees are favouring Argentina, favouring Messi, and they're much harder on France. It gives the impression that things are fixed. But I don't
think that the referees are...
I don't think so. No, that's just the way it looks.
No, I think that the man was thoroughly incompetent.
Yes, I agree.
He was just overtaken by what was happening on the pitch, and he was unable to just...
He couldn't really
have
cope
order
with it.
on his pitch. Like, dude... Get out those cards.
Yeah. For some reason, he couldn't quite. Maybe he felt like if I start booking these Paraguayan players for every little thing they do, there won't be any left. Yeah. Who knows? But he was very lenient. I think it's just that particular referee in that particular game.
Yeah.
Rather than it being
because the refereeing has been quite stellar in this cup.
Most
overall.
of it. Yeah.
And it actually brought back some measure of doubt and indecision in things like where we're like, oh, maybe it was a penalty, maybe it wasn't, like those conversations we had that, never actually ruined football. You have clear and cut technology like goal line technology, extremely useful. Who touched the ball last? Is it corner kick or a
throw in or a goal kick? Yeah.
When you have like, so when they start touching at who stepped on whose toe, you're like, okay, that's the football we have, but then we expect you to say someone punched someone. It's just like when it's, so that's really
some cases where is it a penalty or not, it's like such a slight difference. It's a question of how you read it, but when someone gets punched in the face.
So you would assume that they would,
but what an extraordinary game.
I mean, what the other big lesson from that game is that France is on his way to win this.
Yeah, they look good.
They got out of that.
Yeah.
Quite unharmed. All smiles, very dignified.
I have to say, I was very impressed by the French team. Not just the way they played, but the way they conducted themselves. I liked the way that, the Paraguayan press accused Mbappe of being arrogant because he was laughing and smiling. But I think it's the best way to deal with that sort of thing. Where,
he's getting Messi. How could you not be a little bit arrogant when you're Mbappe? I mean, what do you want him to do?
Yeah. He's getting chopped, he's getting punched, and his response is to laugh in their faces, which is
and score a goal.
So fair play to him. But France do look like the favourites, don't they?
Yeah.
Argentina are obviously strong because they've got Messi and they're generally strong, but they've got a sketchy defence, it looks like, no?
Yeah. It's 4 goals in 2 games against, teams that are not at their level, it's fair to say, but they have very good players, they're very resilient, and obviously they can come back from the depths of hell.
The referee's certainly one of their top players.
What do you think? Do you think that?
No. I don't think it's rigged in favour of Argentina. You could construct that theory looking at the evidence, but then if you actually judge each refereeing decision, for the most part, I think they're probably the right decisions.
Yeah, I don't think that they're more favored than any big favorite in a cup. I think that in certain ways, France is favored, Spain is favored. Well, I saw something about how they always have those easy knockout rounds, and I'm like, well, sometimes you have an easy knockout round. That happens.
It's easy to have an easy knockout round when you're Argentina.
Exactly.
Because most teams are not as good as you.
That's the thing.
So
it's like, what do you want? Do you want him to play Spain, France, and that's not how it works. It's never how it works.
I don't know how it would be possible to rig a World Cup, really. I mean, you can understand how referees might favour decisions, but I mean, is this really just to keep Messi in the World Cup so that more people watch it? That seems to be the reason why that would happen.
I see. It's like, it goes back, I think, to the 2014 Player of the Tournament award he was given, which in a way was not very well. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember that tournament that well, but at the time it felt like, well, he lost the cup, so it should go to a German. But then the German was a really strong collective, and it's that one is a one-man award, and one-man awards are questionable anyway. So I see there's some roots to that, but I mean, the guy is he's supposed to be dead. Not dead like in the football sense. He's supposed to be out. 39, playing in the US, not the most competitive league. You see how Neymar went. You see how Ronaldo went. You see how all these players went.
Yeah.
And he's,
still going strong.
That second goal against Egypt. Oh my God. Yeah. How do you pull that out of your bag? Like, how do you keep doing that? Until when are you going to do that? He's been doing it for so long.
Should we talk about Portugal? So we're talking about Argentina and Messi, who obviously contributes so much to the team.
Yeah.
And there's no question that he should be part of it if he's fit. But what about Ronaldo and Portugal? What's your analysis of that situation?
Should have retired like 4 years ago.
You think so?
At least.
So do you think that Portugal would have done better without him?
Obviously. He's dead weight. He's dead weight. Dead weight.
There's another nice phrase, dead weight, meaning that he's not really helping the momentum of the team. In fact, he's holding them back somehow.
In 2022, it was already meh. I don't know where he played in 2022. Was it already in Saudi Arabia? I don't know. But his level was down. He could have been substituted probably a bit more in 2022. He wasn't as, his old self already.
A lot of walking.
But now it's like... Stop it.
Is that ego then? Is that just ego and the hold that he has over Portuguese football?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's like it's the coach that's not able to just say, hey, can you just sit out for 30 minutes and let other people play? It's just this fog of that happens at the end of certain generations where you're not able to move on and you just have one too many.
Yeah,
it has happened to Italy, to Germany, not Germany now, but in the past, where like, you should stop, old man.
Yeah.
A bunch of old men. You should just retire, let other people try it out. And it's happening to Portugal, and it's unfortunate because it's less about a generation. It's really about one player that should just step out and let the other people.
Was he starting games, or was he coming on? He was starting, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. Started all the games.
Yeah, right.
All 5 games, yeah.
Because they could have done
sadly for them, he scored twice against Uzbekistan. And that's when... was it Uzbekistan? Yeah. I think when they won 5-0.
Yeah.
And that was the worst news possible for them. That he scored twice. Because they're like, I'm back. See, look at me. I can score twice.
He actually said, I'm back.
You're like, dude, this is not Terminator. Just don't do that. It's embarrassing because we know that's...
if it was Terminator, it was like Terminator Part 6, wasn't it? It's like the sequel you shouldn't have made.
Yeah, this squeaky Terminator with should have WD-40'd 1,000 times. Like, go back to the shop, Terminator.
Oh dear. Brazil knocked out by Norway.
Ooh, that is interesting.
That was exciting. Now I like Brazil, and I like to see them do well. I'll be honest, but
we like that yellow.
So, I like the strip. That's a large part of it. But what did you think of the Norway-Brazil game then? Norway 2, Brazil 1.
So
2 words probably.
Erling 3 words. Erling Braut Haaland.
Yeah, what's the is it Braut?
Braut?
What's
I
that?
Guess
is his middle name or something like that?
I guess so.
Okay. Let's keep calling him Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland, the cyborg.
The man is talking of the Terminator. I mean, this is like the Terminator 6, where you've got the old Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm back again, and then you've got Erling Haaland, who is like the new, the new Terminator, like the top model. He's made of liquid glass or something like that, and liquid metal.
Yeah,
he's made of pure sort of Norwegian Viking like
ice water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or
Ice
something
in the
he's
vein.
made of narwhal tusks, which have been ground down into a powder, which they then formed into a clay-like substance, and then just electrified him.
Exactly.
And
in the furnaces of
Valhalla. Yeah, right. The guy's unbelievable, isn't he?
Oh, dude, it's there's something about some players that just feel inevitable, where you know that it will happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of them this World Cup. I mean, you know, I haven't gone to check the records, but I don't feel like there's been so many of them at the same time. Mbappe, Messi, Haaland,
Harry Kane, can we say?
Yes, definitely Kane.
Because he's another one of those players where, like, just if you get the ball to his feet
Like,
in the penalty penalty
for
box,
yeah.
yeah,
That goal against Congo, is
yeah,
like, what is
just
that?
shifted to the right.
And at the same time, you've seen that 100 times, you know he's going to do it. You know,
Amazing the way he makes space for himself. Also, the way he scores with his head. He'll just step back and jump into space. He just shifted the ball to the right, beats two men, bang, and he hits the ball so hard.
Speaking of, I mean, going back to Norway, that second goal against Brazil, I think Holland is pretty much standing still.
Yeah.
And then flings a rocket.
The ball pings to him just inside the penalty box. He slams it and then just remains standing still. Yeah. I thought, what happened? Something went wrong.
I know.
No, that's him scoring a goal.
Yeah. It's like, Does he practice yoga?
Or is that, I have no idea, but I know
he has his pose of like the lotus pose is kind of his thing. You know, when they have like all the players before the game, when they announce the lineup and they have like
they're pointing at the flag,
and
the badge.
he's like this.
Zen.
Yeah, and that's his thing. His celebration is a Zen pose.
I don't know if he does yoga or whatever, but he certainly is into bioengineering, biohacking, biomechanics. I think he closely regulates his diet and lots of other things. He's eating nothing but raw Norwegian salmon.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, they imported.
I'll have what he's having.
The Norwegian team imported all their food because they didn't want to eat the rubbish American food that they were being given, so that everything was ported.
And now they're in the quarterfinals.
However many kilograms of Norwegian salmon and this, that, and the other, and milk.
That's what you need to do for your country. Import the salmon.
Don't forget to bring the milk and cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
That unpasteurized cheese that you can't get in America.
They're impressive. Now we're reaching the stage where, I mean, England versus Norway in the quarterfinals, where you have all of them on the same pitch. What's going to happen?
I don't know. Well, I think that Erling Haaland is probably going to score. That seems to be what he does,
and
right?
Kane is going to score because that's what he does.
And Jude Bellingham is going to work incredibly hard.
Yes.
And
Martin Odegaard is going to be average?
Who knows? What's your prediction for Norway, England?
Ooh.
As a, I consider you to be a neutral.
I will say that England has stepped up very well in this in the past two stages. And they probably have a stronger team, like as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the Norwegian team. It's gonna be. I mean, because on the wings, like I don't know, they can hurt you.
Their goalkeeper is very good.
Yeah, Nieland's good. They have that Noose on the side. They have Oscar Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Oscar Bob.
I found that funny, like watching the game. And now Bob. There's a
Bob.
Have you noticed that the football commentators are doing this thing now, where when the player shoots, they shout the name of the player who's done, and Haaland. Kane.
I love it.
Shout the name of the player when he shoots.
Being paid to shout out names is my dream destination.
Bob!
Exactly. Wouldn't you love to scream Bob?
The squad, yes. I think on balance, England have the strength in depth in terms of the squad.
But frankly,
Norway not so much.
I think that all 8 teams can credibly win this. Because when you have Haaland in your team and he can frankly score 2 goals out of nothing,
just get the ball in the box.
Yeah, he can. And it's interesting because as we reach the higher stages, he's about to meet like defenders he's met in the European leagues.
Yeah.
So he's gonna meet if his friends like Saliba in Arsenal, Upamecano in Bayern Munich. Now it's gonna go against the English team. He knows all of them, so there's no fear. He's beaten all of them.
Yeah, he's.
There's no defender he fears, and his team knows that. His team knows that there's no one to fear because he's there.
Yeah.
And so they will like generally try to beat everybody and never play defend more than is needed and whatever. So I think it's quite open. I think Morocco can win this. They have defensive strength. They have great attacking players, a very good midfield. They have like on the bench there's like really good players. Like France is favorite, but if you tell me tomorrow that Morocco is world champion, I'm not going to be like flabbergasted.
No.
Like all 8 teams now have like...
I find it hard to imagine how Morocco will get past France, though. Because, sure, Morocco are really great, but France are really
but
on another level. They seem so relaxed as well.
Yeah, and I think France has like they always have like the abilities and the players to reverse any scenario the same way Argentina does.
Yeah.
But dude, it's 90 minutes.
I thought Argentina...
Or, I mean, sorry, it's 105 minutes, so...
It feels like a lot. 105 minutes.
It's not 90 anymore. It's I used to...
It's 2 hours on average, it seems.
When I was young, the game starts at like 12 p.m. So it's going to be 12 plus 45 plus maybe 2-3 minutes plus 15-minute break plus 45 plus 2-3 minutes. So I know that by... I don't know, 1:50 p.m.
An hour and 45
I'm
minutes.
Done. And so my internal clock is out of whack because, when I watch a game, I know I expect what time it's going to be by the time it's over, and I'm always 10 minutes late to everything.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. You were 10 minutes late for this. It's just like your whole life has been shifted 10 minutes late.
Exactly.
Every time you every time you wake up, something happens in that day, normally a football match, which shifts everything 10 minutes later.
Exactly. But yes, it's 90 minutes, so I don't know.
Anything could happen. It's all to play for here in the quarter-final stage.
There's injuries. There's mistakes. At this level, it's and if Argentina is like two goals down against Switzerland, maybe not Switzerland. Maybe not Switzerland. No. Frankly, you know what? You never know.
Switzerland actually
You never know.
You never know.
They're strong. They're in the quarterfinals.
They're very organised.
You never know. Yeah.
They've got their money certainly very organised.
Exactly.
So they're very.
I thought Colombia would win. Colombia didn't win, and there we go. Who knows? Maybe like the defensive strength of Switzerland will be enough to thwart Argentina. Then they've beat France in the past. So like
what's the Swiss?
3 years ago at the Euros, not 2021.
Okay.
So it's not like crazy to imagine that Swiss could beat France in a in the 90 minutes game.
So Switzerland are in the final then, according to your analysis.
I'm just saying it's very open, but
playing against Morocco, no doubt, right? Because it's Morocco.
It would be a Morocco,
confused.
Switzerland. No, it will be a Morocco,
England, Norway, or whoever, someone.
Yeah, it could be a Switzerland Morocco final, which would be bonkers.
Yeah,
and
it would be
very unlikely because
Let's be honest though, it's probably going to be France who go through against Morocco. It's probably going to be Spain who go through against Belgium. Probably. I'm not sure Norway, England, but let's say England for this. Just
let's say England because
why not?
Why not?
Because it's England.
Yeah.
Argentina, Switzerland, let's say it's Argentina. So that means England would play Argentina in the semi-final.
Yeah.
And obviously England are going to go through. No, I don't know. I think.
Did you watch the 98 game? That famous 98 game with the Beckham-Owen generation?
Of course. So I know that game very, very well. Yeah. So you're talking about a World Cup semi-final. No. Second round, last of 16 game between England and Argentina in the 1998 World Cup. I remember it. I remember where I was. I was in my living room in my parents' house trying to call my friend who I knew was watching the game with his friend at another house saying, come and get me, because he had a car. I had no way of getting anywhere because I lived in the middle of nowhere. Come and get me, and he just wouldn't come. And so I was alone watching this game, and Michael Owen scored an incredible goal against Argentina.
This is in the pre-Uber world, kids.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then Beckham did a stupid thing. He kind of was lying on the floor and he kicked someone with the back of his ankle and he got sent off, and then England went out on penalties.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah. Heartbreaking.
Oh, horrible.
So it would be a nicer. I mean, you have a long. There's the Hand of God, England, Argentina. That's a World Cup classic.
Right. So that's the Aztec Stadium, 1986, England versus Argentina in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
Maradona famously the hand.
That's England versus Argentina in the quarterfinal. Maradona.
I'm doing my football commentary.
Yeah, voice.
Maradona went for a header.
Yeah.
Deftly used his hand to put the ball in the back of the net. The referee didn't see it, got away with it. And then he went on to score another goal, but that was like a legitimately brilliant goal.
Yeah.
So we've got history in terms of World Cup knockouts. Normally Argentina coming out on top. Mm-hmm. So I think probably Argentina are definitely Argentina.
Would you be
the
afraid of
favourite.
Argentina?
Yes, definitely afraid of Argentina. Yes, I think they're more than capable of knocking us out. I'm afraid of Norway, for goodness sake.
You should be.
All that raw salmon is going to be converted into raw power.
Coming back to life, flopping upstream. Yeah. Scoring goals.
I can imagine Haaland leaping like a salmon through the air to score a goal. You can imagine it. Whereas the England players will be fueled probably on baked beans and Marmite.
And maybe some, Bratwurst? Because, Kane maybe he eats German now. Who knows? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it serves him well to be in Germany, so.
Some of that sauerkraut. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just trying to predict a final. It's probably going to be Argentina-France, isn't it?
That's the one I had predicted. And many times. I mean, so when Cape Verde was it was 2-2, and when they were 2-0 down yesterday, I was like, I guess it's over.
Yeah.
And in 2022 they lost their first game against Saudi Arabia, and they went on to win the whole thing 3-3 plus penalties. So you're like, I guess they can do everything. But anything is possible with Argentina.
It's been a bit sketchy, though, their last two games. And they've shown that they have weaknesses, and a bigger team could certainly capitalise on those things.
I mean, it's been sketchy.
I think if England went up against Argentina...
2022, Argentina, Netherlands, it ends in the penalty shootout, and it's like scraping by the hair...
The skin of their teeth.
Skin of their teeth.
There's a nice phrase, listeners. There's a nice idiom. They got through by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah. They won by a
very small margin.
By a hair.
Yeah, by a hair's breadth.
The
width of a hair. So we're talking about very small margins by the skin of your teeth.
They eked out a win.
They eked out a victory.
Ooh.
Even. By a hair's breadth. So I'm
all phrases, baby. I'm all phrases.
Learn English idioms with Fred and football. Yes, all small margins, hair's breadth by the skin of your teeth. Yeah. But I think that England versus Argentina, I think we would give them a run for their money.
Oh, yeah.
We'd make life difficult for them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We'd expose their weaknesses.
Yeah, like defensively, you could tear through that. I've discovered Elliot Anderson at this World Cup. I wasn't aware that this young man existed, and he was, he's under 21 European champion and whatnot. Very good midfield. Yeah. Bellingham, always there.
Anthony Gordon.
Yes,
on the left.
he looks like the one of those the least interesting players. Like when physically he's so bland, and then he plays so well. You're like.
He's kind of like old school English because he's got like a real footballer's haircut. There was a period in the 80s and 90s when footballers had footballer haircuts.
That's true.
Kind of
it's the hair. It's the haircut. You're right.
He just doesn't look very cool or trendy.
Yeah, now we used to very trendy, tattooed, whatnot, and he just looked like run of the mill. It looks like you're just the guy you saw in the street, and it's like, want to come and play? It's like, yeah, I'm available.
He's a Scouser as well.
Want to play Tony? It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to play. He's a Scouser, so he sort of speaks like this. Anthony Gordon, he's sort of, like a classic Scouse accent. It's great.
Is that...
That's North Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Liverpool. Yeah. Yeah, all right, great. I'm sure there are things we've missed. What about the... so we touched on the controversies and stuff I think we've dealt with, but what about the actual corruption stuff, because there's been a bit of a scandal in terms of corruption.
Is there an ongoing scandal? Is there something?
I don't know if there's something now,
so
but you know what I'm talking about, though, right? The red card that was overturned because Trump personally requested it. Of course. I mean, this is just blatant corruption.
There's something about the World Cup where, because it's the biggest event on earth, like in sports, at least in football, sports wise.
Yeah.
It's the moment where the world takes stock of what has been done with their favorite sport. You know, even if you like football, especially if you're in Europe and whatnot. If you like football, football is part of your life when the World Cup happened. So you watch the game and you're like, oh, is that how they do things now? You know, like if you don't know about VAR or about, I don't know.
All right.
Many things
everyone's chance to like check in with football. Exactly. What's going on with football every 4 years? Exactly. Oh, I see they do it like that now.
And so FIFA is a very corrupt organization. And when you don't follow football, you're like, you're not aware of what's happening. Like the whole thing about how in 2030 they're trying to expand the tournament to six countries, so that in 2034 the only possible candidate would be Saudi Arabia, because all the other confederations would have been involved in recent what I mean? So in 2030 you have one game in Uruguay, in Colombia, in Argentina, plus Morocco, plus Spain, plus Portugal. You've had this one the current one is in North America. So where would you organize? In Asia. Who wants to organize a World Cup in Asia? Saudi Arabia. So there's like stuff like that.
Yeah,
where
you just look at like Russia, Qatar. I mean, even North America, like United States these days.
Course,
I mean, it's in the same kind of camp as these.
And Infantino
countries.
is a guy who likes to be friend with dictators and people of the kind and weirdos and autocrats and all that. So when you don't follow football, you're like, oh, what's been happening?
So football's gone evil.
Yeah, exactly. And now this is the result of those years of like of slow, of gradual shift or downward slide towards like corruption, and just like giving the ability to a man like Trump to say, "Can you remove that red card?"
Yeah, we can do that.
The first major signal was when the Somalian referee was expelled, was thrown out of the U.S. It wasn't thrown out. They didn't let him in. They were like, "You are from Somalia. We have that country on the list, and you seem like you could be a terrorist." And they're like,
these black clothes that you've got here. Exactly. Is this for a disguise?
Exactly.
Why are you carrying a whistle? Is this a piece of spy gadgetry?
Exactly. To signal, So there were
sort of yellow and red cards in your pocket. Is this some sort of sophisticated flagging system for secret covert communications? What's going on here? You've never read the rules of football. What are you doing?
So I don't know how you take back control of FIFA. I don't know how. As
we need a revolution, Fred. We need a revolution.
Yeah, definitely, because it's been understood that they're a bit corrupt in sports and they have a lot of money, but now you jumping into like dirty politics.
And this one where Trump personally requested a red card to be overturned
to his buddy,
to his pal,
to his mate. It's like, hey mate, can you remove that red card, because I don't think it's a red card.
That's just blatant.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
what the hell?
That's just blatant, overt corruption right out in the open, and it's horrible because more and more this has just become an accepted thing now. Yeah, where countries, powerful people just do whatever the hell they want without any.
Trump has been abusing that to an extent that is, frankly, I mean, it's a first. It's a first in like popular culture.
American history.
Yeah. Just like the impact on popular cultures is like, why would you get involved with like sports? Leave sports and arts alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do your stuff.
I know he's certainly getting involved in arts.
You know what I mean? Like, do your stuff with immigrants. Leave theater alone. Like,
are you not happy? You're not happy enough deporting immigrants. You have to spoil the arts as well.
Be like, put my name on that venue.
building.
It's like,
right.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
So yeah, it's egregious. It's embarrassing, and everybody hates it. I'm sure, including that guy, including Folarin Balogun, which is a player who benefited from that. I'm sure he hates it.
Yeah.
Because now your name is like tied to that guy, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna play. He played this. His game was awful, and I'm wondering if that's part of it, because he shouldn't be there. And then you play, and if you score, you know that people are gonna say you shouldn't have been there. And I mean, frankly, he's played well, and now against Belgium, he was really not good.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but maybe you could argue from Infantino's point of view that this is, the way you have to deal with Trump is that, when you're doing something with him, you've got to constantly acquiesce to his requests, and you've got to tell him how wonderful he is.
Yeah, of course, that's what you do, because
it was a pragmatic decision to just, for some reason, to allow things to run smoothly. But I don't see what would have been the negative consequence of him saying, no, we're not going to overturn that decision. What would have been the outcome of that?
Wait, that's the natural thing to do when you're a coward.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really funny to be a powerful coward, because he's the president of FIFA. Like, why do you fear people? You're the president of football. Like, you have so much power, and yet you're a coward. So, from his point of view, it's natural, because he's been cowardly for a long time. But I don't know, what was it going to do? Cancel the World Cup? I mean, frankly, it would, if the World Cup ended up being like canceled because Trump is like, I'm not happy, and we move it to Canada and Mexico, all the better.
Yeah,
all the better. Like, it's just, it's good. We would follow the whole thing. We would, they would move championships and whatnot.
Get rid of the commercial breaks.
Oh, God.
Make halftime 15 minutes again. Make football great again.
Exactly.
Basically,
please make football again.
Let's talk about the upcoming. Maybe we've already done this. We have. I was about to suggest that we predict outcomes of games,
I'm
but I feel like we've done that.
So I do think that the favorites are going to favorite. So France against Morocco, Spain against Belgium, England versus Norway, and Argentina versus Switzerland. Although I think that England-Norway is really tight.
I agree.
And that France-Morocco is really, really tight. I mean, Morocco versus Brazil, so impressive. They're much better than Brazil. And Morocco versus the Netherlands, they're much better than the Netherlands.
Okay.
So, from what I've seen and from what I remember, they are better than the Netherlands and Brazil. So there are a step up from those. So what do you have left in that category? You would say England. For me, like, Morocco and England are like the same.
Okay.
In terms of level, they're the same. And, they have an injury at the front, which is Ismail Saibari, who scored 3 goals for Morocco and is maybe their best player so far. He's injured, so they've lost a very, very important weapon at the front. Their central defender is also hurt. Riyadh, which is unfortunate, his place was Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah.
So won the Conference League. Very good season for Crystal Palace. So they've lost some key players, but it's a strong team. So you never know. But yeah, Argentina, Switzerland. Argentina. I'll say it for the 3rd time in a row. Argentina should go through easily. Here I am with those 3-2, 3-2.
Yeah, they probably won't.
Those 2-3-2 games.
They haven't gone through easily in any of their knockout games.
They should, because there's, and also the best player in Switzerland is injured. So,
but you look at past form over the last 4 or 5 games or whatever. But in the World Cup, sometimes teams. It's a kind of a marathon these days, and some teams don't come into form until the very late stage at the right moment.
Like England.
England
was like average, and then whoa.
I think that's happening because we started well, then we dipped against Ghana and Panama, and arguably against
Congo,
Dr. Congo, as people keep calling them. But then raised our game in the last match, so maybe we are on an upward trajectory now.
Definitely an upward, which is why England is so dangerous. But so is Norway.
Yeah,
Norway is on an upward trajectory. They showed that against Cote d'Ivoire and against Brazil. Holland is not, foot on the gas pedal. So yeah, but I think England's a favorite. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, we'll see. We can't predict.
That's why I came here, just to say England is a favorite. That's why.
Thanks a lot, Fred. Well, thanks, Fred. That's the end of the episode. Now that I got him to say that, I don't know if there's anything else for us to say at this point. Is there really?
I don't know. I don't know. Now there's less games, so it's more manageable as a fan to watch them all. So I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited for. I'm going to enjoy this day of rest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's intense.
I'm going to try and get this episode out today if I possibly can.
Yeah. So after 26 days of games every day. Am I crazy for saying that? It started on June 11th. So it's been a game.
That's like
for
4 weeks. It's more or less.
And I've watched football for the past.
How's your life? How's your relationship? I mean, is your girlfriend, is she okay with this?
Yeah, she's had moments of where it was a bit much.
It's not putting too much strain on your personal life. This commitment to international football.
It totally is. It's a hardship. Frankly, at moments I was like, I'm not gonna watch that one. I sleep a little bit. I try to keep that. At least, but I always have like a computer or a TV.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the World Cup's going to end. It's going to be a renaissance in your love life.
Crazy.
Yeah,
cannot wait. Even just today, like the freshness of this gameless day,
the amount of
evening.
sex that you've already had.
God. Yes.
Yeah,
but it's more the fact that my attention has been elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I have to say, she's been supportive. Like I have cancer.
She's been really patient.
She's been patient, and she's enjoyed some good games. She is rooted for Senegal against Belgium and for Egypt against Argentina. So her heart has been broken twice.
Okay, I hope she's rooting for Norway against England.
I wonder if she might be. She might root for England. She
Where's she from
roots
again?
for Swiss. She's French. She's from the south of France. She has some Swiss roots, Swiss roots. So she was happy for Switzerland yesterday evening.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be happy when it's over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the obligation to just keep watching all these games.
I will stop watching football for the next 4 years. And I'm so glad I don't watch football on the regular, because I cannot imagine every weekend,
every Saturday,
betting, whatever, fantasy sports, who scored what. And I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm like, I can live without football, but then when a World Cup rolls around, I really like to get stuck in. And we certainly got stuck in today, Fred, in this World Cup Ramble number 3. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for taking part.
Yes, we did.
And we look forward to seeing what's happening. Who knows? Anything could happen. Well, not anything.
Mbappe!
So that is the end of that. Thank you again to Fred for coming on the podcast to ramble with me about football, and what a ramble it was. That's the end. I'm very sweaty and hot. If you've been watching the video version, I wonder how sweaty I've been. I haven't actually reviewed the footage yet, but that doesn't matter, does it? I mean, doesn't matter. Does it? Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Good. I'm glad that it doesn't matter. Leave your comments in the comments section. I would like your comments about the World Cup as it stands right now. Obviously, this has been recorded on the 8th of July, this day of no football, right between the last 16 and the beginning of the quarterfinals. So by the time you listen to this, everything may have changed. You'll probably know the France-Morocco score. You'll probably know the England-Norway score. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to stop talking now, though, because I need to edit this episode together and get it published as soon as humanly possible, in order to just try and keep up with things, just to make sure that this podcast is being published in the right way at the right time. It's all rather difficult to keep up with, but it's exciting. I'm really enjoying the World Cup, despite all of the slightly more contentious aspects of it. I hope you are too, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, World Cup Ramble number 3. And I'll do World Cup Ramble number 4 at some point, maybe right sometime before the final or maybe even afterwards. We will see. I'm making this up as I go along at this point. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll speak to you next time. But for now, it's just time to say goodbye. Bye, 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 bye.